in a few select places, some people begin to experiment with a new way of harvesting energy. They're growing their own crops. An act so seemingly simple, it's hard to believe it will kickstart a revolution. But it will. These are the first seeds in the rise of civilization. And at first, it is only happening in one region on Earth, here in Mesopotamia. Why? A major reason is that the hills above Mesopotamia provide the motherlode of native plants that can be cultivated, including several species of a plant that's going to become mankind's most vital resource for all of recorded history. A plant whose roots go far back into deep time. Which plant is it? It's grass. It's not an exaggeration to say, no grass, no civilization. Around the world, every major civilization has been a collaboration between humans and a particular grass. Millet in North China, rice in South China. In Mesoamerica, corn. In the Middle East, wheat and barley. You don't get civilization without grass. For most of deep time, grass didn't exist. It first arises about 100 million years ago, when certain plants evolved to spread their pollen in a new way. Not through bees or other insects, but through the wind. But once it appeared, grass carpeted the planet.
Grass has the ability of being able to spread relatively quickly into ecologies and environments and populate them quite fully.
And here's where the forces of deep time help determine where civilization began. For one thing, the hills around Mesopotamia happen to have two kinds of wild grass that are easily cultivated and highly nutritious: wheat and barley. So early farmers here have a major advantage over people elsewhere on the planet. But they still had work to do. So over the centuries, they took an early version of local wheat and they carefully selected it for the traits they wanted. One of those traits is larger seeds. Another is what's called non-shattering seeds, so that when the wheat is harvested, the seeds don't fall off and get scattered and lost. So slowly, over time, by careful selection, humans coaxed this to evolve into this. And it wasn't just local grasses that could be tamed. Wandering the hills of Mesopotamia, our lucky farmers would have seen the ancestors of modern cattle. Goats, sheep, and pigs. A collection of creatures that happen to have the right stuff to be tamed. Instead of hunting them for their meat, farmers could learn to raise them, ensuring easy, reliable access to animal protein for the first time in history. But why were these animals all found in Mesopotamia? Part of it was sheer luck. But another part was that deep time placed Mesopotamia at one of the vital crossroads of the world. As plate tectonics assembled the old world, Mesopotamia found itself in the sweet spot where Asia, Europe, and Africa came together. any wild animal migrating in any direction was likely to come through here. And if it liked these conditions, it stuck around. But what exactly is it about this collection of animals in ancient Mesopotamia that meant they could be domesticated and help humanity launch our first civilizations? Have you ever thought about why some animals became farm animals and others didn't? The first part of the answer is that all of our farm animals are plant eaters. And this is key.
It's way too expensive to keep and feed animals that eat other animals, much less one that might view you as lunch. So, if you're looking for an animal to domesticate, pick a herbivore.
But just because an animal eats grass doesn't mean it can be domesticated. When was the last time you saw someone plow a field with a zebra?
Some animals are simply untamable, they're too aggressive.
What else do cows, goats, and sheep have in common that make them tameable? They're all herd animals that will sometimes even stampede in their eagerness to follow a leader. Take that instinct, substitute yourself for the natural herd leader, and you're on your way to turning a wild beast into a very useful animal indeed. But of the hundreds of large mammal species on Earth, only 16 will submit to a human being leading the herd. And so it's truly remarkable that among the select group, 4 of the most important animals that can be domesticated happen to exist in one small region of the ancient world. So thanks to favorable wild crops and animals, it is here in Mesopotamia that humankind begins the journey to farming, which is the key to the civilizations and empires to come.